usually waiting for Penny to sign on so we have a quorum, but now we actually have a quorum without her. But mine wasn't even there.
Yeah, ready.
Ready? Okay. 8:03, and we'll call the meeting of the Canaan Police Building Committee to order. I see we have a quorum. I see we have the people that are likely to speak on, so we'll get going. We'll put out the attendee list later. Were there any public comments, Joe?
No public comments.
Okay. Is there any way I could turn my ring off on my phone? We'll do that. And that's it. So the minutes, let's go there. Everyone get a copy of the minutes and have a chance to go through them?
Yes.
Any improvements, corrections, grammatical
Tom gave me some
highlights?
Tom gave me some adjustments, mostly grammatically, a couple things, but nothing that changes the intent of them.
Yep.
But I'll incorporate Tom's changes.
Paul, do you want to say anything to prove that you read them?
I'll go into 6B. You know, it was assumed that the PBA was going to pick up the cost of the gym, and I just don't know that that is accurate. But I don't know if that's part of the minutes or not. I just never thought that that was a possibility. So,
I think really the only thing we concluded at the last meeting and what the meetings really should reflect is nothing was decided. We're continuing to talk amongst ourselves. We'll review options. Yeah. Yeah.
The future meeting.
Yeah, I think that's
correct.
Yeah, that's right. PD will review options and present at a future meeting.
correct. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
yeah.
I would just say that was what Slam mentioned as far as the budget. It wasn't that it was an agreed upon, consensus that was built. It was just the reason why it wasn't in the budget.
Exactly. Nothing was agreed. Nothing was decided. In government terms, we kicked it down the road. There's a phrase we could all understand.
Right.
All right. So do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
All right, second.
Second, Jim. All in favor? Thank you very much. Public comments? Any public comments? Or did I ask you that already?
You
I did.
You did.
And there are still no public comments.
Let me
Good.
check my email. No, there's no public comments. Thank you.
I don't think
30 seconds.
I don't think we've ever had a public comment, have we?
We have not.
We have not that I'm well, we always love to hear from the public. Yeah, but don't let me, yes. General business and updates. Who wants to start?
I'll defer to Scott to give you the sort of the 2-week look ahead. And then once we get into the numbers, I'll jump in then.
Thank you, Ty. Usually you steal my thunder up front, so I appreciate that on this beautiful Thursday. So I like to start inside the building. We'll work from the top down, and then we'll hit the outside. So we're basically sheetrocked. All walls are sheetrocked upstairs on the upper level. We walked with the plumbing inspector, the building inspector yesterday, and finalized the in-wall plumbing rough, which was the last bit of our in-wall inspections. We passed, and we were given permission to close up the bathroom walls and all the other walls that have plumbing in them. So we're going to proceed with that work today, following all the proper insulation and everything that has to happen there. So we are now going to start insulating all the plumbing walls. And once that's done, we'll do a visual inspection on that, and then we'll prepare to close the wall. So it was a good day yesterday on the upper floor. We received yesterday the soffit sheetrock. We have these prefabricated sheetrock soffits that come with all the sheetrock pre-bent, so you can install them in one process. It's a neater, tighter application. So that was delivered yesterday for the upstairs, and we are preparing for the exterior wall spray foam insulation installation that's going to start next Monday. So we've got a lot going on upstairs in the walls, etc. The sprinkler pipe has started overhead. We did an inspection yesterday of the overhead hydronic piping and passed. And we did an inspection of the overhead ductwork and passed. We also did the air tests on both of those systems. reach the appropriate pressures, back pressures and all that stuff. We've documented all of that. We reviewed some of that yesterday also with the commissioning agent that was on site. So we're in good shape there. So overall, the upper level is in good shape and moving forward. Going on down to the main level. The main level is all framed out where we can. The only place that's not framed are the exterior walls as we manage the next round of window removal and installation. We are planning a in-wall rough inspection on the main level for the framed walls, which is 90% of them. And we're looking to get that walkthrough with Paul on Monday. We've topped off the walls with sheetrock. We've begun the duct work on the main level, above ceiling duct work, and we are starting the installation of the hydronic piping hangers down on the main level. Also, we have begun the process of removing windows. We started the windows on the upper level and the main level on the north side. They're all removed. We had the inspection from Fudd O'Neill. They inspected the removed windows and confirmed that everything that needed to get removed was cleaned and removed. So we are now going to start the process of installing windows. We've received 2 windows on site. We've just got to do some dry fitting mock-ups and make sure we've got all the parts and pieces to start installing those windows. And that will we'll be starting on Monday. Today is a rainy day, and on Friday is the holiday for the particular trades that are associated with that work.
Hey,
So
can I ask
Monday-
a quick question about the windows? Because I noticed driving by that they're out, but you're also installing the sheetrock. I mean, is there any risk we're going to get like water damage coming in where the windows are plastic? I made that word up over.
No, there isn't. I appreciate the question. We're pretty tight there. We've been we have 2 areas that we've opened up way back in December. And they've been they've maintained all the water tightness as we need. So the sheetrock on the exterior wall is not installed yet. For part of that reason also, there is a concern of moisture, and plus we've left them back where the walls abut or run perpendicular to the window walls. We leave that back a sheet of sheetrock. So we're separated from the exterior wall to eliminate any of those potential concerns that we have there. So
yeah, the reason I asked is I was down at Waveney recently, which is an old brick building, and they've had horrible water damage from the recent tough storms we've had, but we've been tight at this building.
Yes, we've been tight. Honestly, after these events, we walk the attic. My first thing in the morning, I'll walk the perimeter of the building. I look for any water infiltration. I then run up to the attic, see if anything has infiltrated or dripped in the attic. I saw no evidence today of that. And that's a standard morning ritual for me, or end of day, Larry and myself walk the site to just make sure we're watertight also before the end of the day, so that should any foul weather come, we're prepared. So
thank you.
We've been in good shape here. So no, not a problem. That's important to us as well. It's a big part of what we do. So thank you for the question. Rolling on down from the main level as we
What's next, Scott?
Question. On that
Sure.
water tightness, there have been leaks around the cupola before. Has that been removed and replaced, or where do we stand on that?
So the cupola was removed. And we have a one complete sheet of rubber membrane that was put over the top of the cupola, or it's the cupola base now, is that all that remains. So based on what we've had in the past, I've seen no leaks there in my tenure here. We are watertight as of now. I walked the site in the morning and the night. I did not see anything up there. I looked for drips and little discolorations, and I didn't see anything. So as of now, my answer is we are tight.
Good, thanks.
All right. But no, important questions and important things to pay attention to, and we're managing that. Rolling on down again from the main level down to the lower level, we have demoed all the walls in the boiler room. We've removed the slab and are preparing, once we get final destination for the contaminated soil in that area, we're gonna get the boiler room soil out and start the work down in the boiler room. We are beginning to do the shoring for the wall that is part of the training area. So that shoring is starting today, so we can be prepared to start the work down there to get the demolition of that wall out of the area. We have started the underground piping, the plumbing waste line, starting from the north side of the building, working our way south, which is the low point. We've started that work. We've excavated inside and are beginning to put the underground piping inside the building. The underpinning from inside the building is 90% complete. We've got 2 more little areas we have to do. It's a unique location, so we have to time them appropriately between spacing, and we're working with the concrete team on finalizing that. And there's a couple little pipes we have going underneath, so we're working with making sure we've got all the plumbing and underground in place before we do the underpinning. Working our way to the south, we've brought in the low voltage conduits from the outside that run down the EMS drive. Those are entered the building. We are beginning to turn those up out of the earth and bring those up into the IT closet on the main level, which is a big push for us in order to maintain the continuity of the fibers and all the communications. So that's going on, and we're getting good progress there. Moving to the outside of the building, we've begun we poured the foundation for the jail cell area, which is the southeast corner. We've poured the foundation walls around that area in the southeast area, and we're preparing to start the masonry in that area to just bring us up to 2 courses we need in order to start the plumbing and MEP trades that go into walls, as well as to position us to start getting ready to pour the slabs, so that once the slabs are poured, we could then continue the block wall in that area, the CMU walls. We've poured a couple of the isolated footings moving east for the canopy, so that'll allow us to backfill around those footings so that we can give ourselves a little bit more space for laydown for other trades as we start bringing in the mason who has some silos for his mixing mortars and his grouts, and as well as we got a lot of block work that's going to be coming in, so we need to get those footings in. We'll bury them, and then we'll unearth them when time comes to start the next round of install. The next hit is going to be working outside the jail cell area, kind of right in the center of the building, to start getting the foundations ready for the stairwell that goes there. That stairwell is integral to the supporting of the precast planks. So our next hit is getting that up and built so that we can time it appropriately, so that when the steel comes, the stairwell is done, and then we can roll right into following the steel, getting the precast planks out here. So we've got a lot going on. We're at about 40. We just had a couple insulators show up today, so we're about 42 to 44 craftspeople on site, and moving forward in good course.
Good.
Anything with the EMT?
I talked to Alec, I emailed him, and he said there's no problems.
Great. And we've heard
Agree
of,
with that, Scott?
I'm sorry?
No problems with EMS, right? Everything's
No.
going well there?
Everything's going well. I'll shoot Alec a note every now and then. Hey, we got to go over there to open a gate, or we've got to come over there to, move a stick or whatever. So I kind of just give him a heads up, and we're communicating via text.
any other neighbor issues come up?
No, sir. The only other neighbor issue is the shed. Brian from next door had reached out to me and said that he's emptied the shed of all of his extraneous debris and equipment, and is only stuff that's in the shed now is what he needs to do his tasks, and he is prepared to move the shed. And I think, Joe, you and I just need to solidify who's moving it, how it's moving, and when it's moving.
Yeah, that's the Department of Public Works will do that.
Great. And again, if you need any assistance from us for any reason, you certainly reach out, give us a day's notice, and we'll be able to assist however we can.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Scott?
No, good.
Yeah, no, it's going well. Thank you, Scott.
No, thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, yeah, just, I made some, but they're the smaller version, so it's probably not as valuable. I got no set. I'm good, thanks. So not too much, change in the numbers, but I'll walk through it, top to bottom. The first yellowed item, which is line number 6, is simply, moving the number from the approximate column to the pending column. So that change order is, in with, Joe to be signed. And once it's signed, it'll move all the way over to, approved.
Can I interrupt
Yep.
for 1 second? So just as far as the process goes for PCOs, we do have some of the pending change column that haven't been officially voted on by the committee. So would either need a vote or a sign off from one of the signers on the committee. So the first one is PCO number 1. The 38,856 hasn't been approved in any of the meetings. So we didn't vote on that. And I don't know that it requires a vote, but it requires a signature from a signer for me to be able to sign that. So we should go through that process.
What I think we'll approve, we'll probably likely approve it, so why don't we just vote on it and get it off the.
Yeah.
Just get it done. Why don't we vote on all of them together?
Perfect, thank you. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. The next item, which is, number 10, is the same. It just is shifting over from, approximate, to pending. So that letter is in with, Joe for approval.
Go back to 6. Remind me of what 6 covers?
6 is the staff costs for the delay in the move, with the jail cell delay, and then the abatement of the brick on the outside. So it's 2 weeks and 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yep. Which was originally guesstimated at 80, and it's in its.
Right, and when you look at the cell change as an overall item, the estimates we originally threw out there were, we came in lower than those original estimates.
Correct. Yep.
I don't want to throw out numbers because I won't get them exactly
Well, there,
right.
it's
but-
we had 253 was the
Okay,
estimate. It
yeah.
came in at 178.
Where's the
So,
253? Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Thank you.
so.
Yeah.
We try and keep it so. Then moving down to item 14, Larry has gotten all the subcontractor input, so that number just adjusted slightly, and is I think he's finalizing that. That's about ready to be submitted to Joe for approval. And that's for just the credit for some of the security plumbing in the cells. We reuse some of the existing fixtures. Now we can jump all the way down to the bottom, where we have some new items that have been introduced. The first one, number 34, is some additional conduits. This is just the sort of flushing out the fiber run between the EOC, the server, and a conference room. There was clarification on some routing and sizing of additional conduits. The next one, remove existing fiber board. This is the board, protection board that was on the foundation covering the waterproofing, which we have to remove so that we can now install our new waterproofing. So it was not asbestos, but we still have to remove it so that we can apply the new stuff. So the nominal cost there. And then there was also a transite pipe as part of the roof leader system that we removed. Removal of contaminated soil. This is just the small amount of soil that we got outside of the building, and then the soil that's inside the boiler room that we're going to have to remove. It's not a large quantity, but it's a little awkward to get it out of there. But this is more the disposal than anything else, because We had some soil removal in the boiler room for some plumbing lines. It's gonna be a little bit more than that. So we're just we're gonna have to sort of work through that process with Grasso. Yes. Yes, it's got oil in it. Yeah. The last one, lintel infills, we have to install various lintels through the building and the terracotta walls to allow for ductwork penetrations. We're doing that, but that's actually being taken out of some hold money. So that won't be a change order to the project. We have some holds knowing that that would be coming up. So overall,
I'm sorry,
if
where
you
are
go to-
those, where are those terracotta walls? I
Oh,
mean,
they're
'cause-
throughout, they're the main corridors of the building are terracotta going most of the way. Well, there are patches of CMU throughout the building, but for the most part, it's a terracotta wall going all the way up on either side of the main corridor.
So I will just add, there was from previous renovations, there was holes punched in the terracotta walls, and this basically addresses those. So we were putting in the appropriate lintels and supports, so it's structurally supported the way it should have been from all the penetrations from past renovations.
So overall, if you go to the bottom right, we're now at 506, 531 total. Last time we met, it was 491,015. So it's an adjustment of up of about $15,000, which is those last three lines.
So just on the terracotta walls then, so we're with these additional supports that we're putting in and now guessing as to where the terracotta walls are in areas that we're not renovating. We're still good with this building for saying at the end that it's going to be 20, 30 year, 40, 50 year building, whatever.
Yes, we've walked through with Brian, structural engineer, to review all of these conditions. So other than at the fitness area where we're removing and replacing it with CMU, he feels that we're good. There are other smaller areas where we're going to probably have to do a little patching, but specifically this was for some ductwork penetrations where you don't want to take out some of the terracotta and leave it vulnerable without a lintel to support the terracotta above it.
Okay.
Yep.
Terracotta was interspersed concrete also. Not all terracotta.
Yeah, no, it's a mishmash.
It's not terracotta.
Well, it is a lot of load bearing. Yeah, yeah.
Concrete support in addition to the terracotta.
Yeah, when they're steel too. So yeah, it's a mishmash. The terracotta is actually what it is supporting is the roof joists.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the terracotta is basically from the top down. It's the entire perimeter of the building and the core corridors from the top down. So we also do take a specific diligence in the time of making sure we've got the proper supports and shoring in there as required until we get these lintels in place. Once the lintels are in place, we create basically a new sound, solid structural opening to allow us to have these penetrations and seal up whatever what was there.
any questions on the numbers?
Which ones?
Correct. The ones in the ones in the pending column either have been approved because they were approved at a larger allowance amount and then they've been reduced.
Right.
Or they've just never been approved. Like for the number one has never been voted on. So it may be easiest just to move the whole, make a motion to move the whole pending change column.
Right, I think we should do I like Jim's idea of just doing them all together. But before we do that, we should have Gene weigh in as well, just to confirm that he believes that the building committee should approve these.
Right, we'll definitely do that. So, but the change process has been, Turner submits a digital file to us via DocuSign. It goes to Brian Humes first, who approves it. It goes to Gene or his representative who approves it, and then it comes to me. And these are all at the process now where it's with me and the committee. So they have already in concepts have approved it. Everything in that pending column.
So basically, we just need to give you or me or Bill permission to sign. So
Correct.
I move that we approve the move of pending to fully. I move that we move the items in the pending column to the approved column and authorize Bill or Joe to sign them.
You guys out there understand what we're doing, right? We're just,
Yep.
and Gene, you're cool with that, right? You signed off on all these, we're all
Yeah,
good.
I've been signing
Yeah,
them
I
as
do-
they come through.
For clarity in the motion, do you just want to add the numbers, just so it's clear? Because I think the numbers stay the same, right? So it's like.
Correct. The numbers stay the same, or we could just move the 318 and just, pending the final signature. It is going to be 318 or less, so we're not going to exceed that. It's the 318,051 in the pending column for this updated log dated 325. I think that would be the cleanest way to do it. And
We'll
I'll
amend
attach
that
it to the minutes.
motion to for a total of 318,051 or less.
All right,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye. So.
Thank you, unanimous.
So just so I know, the 67,000 is now this is on the delay. This was originally, it was 80,000 that was just related to the jail cell. And we basically, now it's basically with respect to the jail cell, it was half of 67,000, because you said half of that was brick abatement now and half of it is the jail cell.
Correct. Yep.
So the jail cell
Got it.
ended up costing us just a little bit, call it 35 and then 178.
Yeah, just to add a little color to that. So it was the $80,000, and this is a not to exceed because it's a general conditions item. So this will just go into their overall amount and it will get billed. It authorizes them to bill against this amount. But the original was 1 month for $80,000 for the jail cell. Turner kind of stacked some items together to expedite it, to make it only a 2-week delay. But then when we found out about the PCB brick procedure that we had to do, they basically, we lost that in 2 weeks. So essentially, yes, 2 and 2.
Okay, great, thank you. I appreciate your stacking and reordering the structure to minimize the change order.
And then just further, obviously, if we do finish early, then, we address that at that point in time, but it's too early to project that.
Right.
Ty, easy Ty, please.
I think other than that, the only other change is the holds. So the last item that was on the PCO log that got added to the holds. I think we can
Okay.
hand it over to Gene for any of his up.
Yeah, Gene?
Yeah, for us, we're tracking the PCO log and just really tracking it against the soft cost and soft cost allowance. So as of today, we have about 1.424 million in contingency, owner's contingency. There are still, as Joe and I are tracking the soft costs as invoices come in, but those are still trending kind of as targeted. So we're feeling pretty good about where we are financially, still hovering on that $29 million mark, with the contingencies and other expenses yet to be expended, at least encumbered and or updated.
with respect to the Board of Finance's comments, our 27+2 mark. Yes.
Correct.
I would just add that we're also, finalizing some of the soft costs. We had the first meeting with the furniture folks to determine exactly the furniture layout and the type. We just preliminarily doing the programming, just make sure that we have all the desks and all the parts and pieces that are associated with the FF&E package. We met with the police yesterday. That is a budgeted item of $600,000 in the soft costs, so it's
Right.
going to be a competitively bid item. And anyone who would like to be more involved in that, just let me know. But at this point, it's just merely the police and programming. But when we get finishes and stuff, we'll have them come through to address the committee before we go out to bid.
Does Brian's person get involved with that in any way, or?
Brian is the person. Brian and Kama. So Kama is the same person who we met for picking out finishes, was given the FF&E project. So we had voted for that, or actually we had went to the selectmen and got approval for that a few weeks ago. So it'll be a few months. We're ahead of the game, but you never know with today's world and delays with materials. So we'll have something for a vote probably in September, bid out and ready for a vote in September.
Okay.
Hey, Jean, can I just ask you to just review the contingency situation? So, we have the total project cost that is inclusive of what we built in contingency, but right now, did you say that contingency unencumbered was, did you say 1.2, 1.4?
1,424,136 is what we're seeing as a balance.
Right. So if everything went perfectly, like 100% perfectly, we could finish the building and have that much money left over.
Exactly. If you
Right.
took
Okay.
that off
I just want
above
to make sure.
Yep. 20,
Thanks.
yeah, it'd be 27.5 roughly or something.
Okay. Thank you. Not that I pay attention to stuff like that or anything.
One other thing I'll note, I don't know if I mentioned it yet or not. There was about 400 cubic yards of soil behind the building that I was concerned about at the last meeting at the tail end. We did have it tested and it's all clean. So that was an item that was, a certain risk to the project, and that's behind us.
That's
Well,
great.
that portion of it's behind us.
And it also clears us for removing all the remaining soil or any excess soil that's within the footprint. Well, that's good, yeah.
Right. As clean. Yeah.
Yeah, we're still managing appropriate though. We're still gonna, our objective is to keep everything on site. We know we've got a lot of backfill at the retaining wall, and we're gonna have to do the backfill where we bring the grade up at the front of the building. So we're in good shape with the soil. Thank you for all your help on that.
And Paul, as far as the temporary police station, have there been any concerns or things that need to be brought up to the building committee?
No, not that I'm aware of, no.
All right, is last call on things to bring up? Anything else? 8:35, motion to adjourn?
Moved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, people. Thank you.